Hey everybody, this is Tam here from Australia, from Team Take Massive Action. Welcome to our live hangout. Today we've got a very special guest here with us. His name is Nat Green. He's going to go into some strategies later on and share a little bit about his background and how he's able to make, $3,000 in a day with Empower. But for now, we're not gonna go through there yet. We're just gonna go through the panel. I have here also my partner, Emily Joanne. She's from Canada, and she's going to be also sharing a little bit about the power of videos and how she does it with her business. Basically, so I'm going to talk first, right? I'm just going to share a little bit about my background and how video and the power of video is for me, right? So let me see. For me, videos, right? I'm just gonna go a little bit far here. The power of videos mean for me, what it means for me is ultimately to gain happiness, right? It's quite funny I say that, but what I really mean is this, right? Basically, if you ask anybody, right, what they actually want to accomplish or achieve, or what do they want in life, they'll say, I want like $1 million, they want a big house, they want a nice car. And if you keep asking them, like, why do you want a big house? Why do you want a nice car? And they'll say, like, okay, well, I want a house because I want, a nice family to live in the house. Well, why do you want your family to live in that house? Why? Ultimately, if you keep asking them these questions, the answers that you get would ultimately be happiness, right? And for me, I believe, right, to have true happiness in life, to have true happiness in, in your life, you have to have a very high level of self-esteem. Okay, now I'm going around a little bit here, but just hang on with me. So to have a high level of self-esteem, right, I mean, you got to be confident with yourself. You got to be able to be happy with yourself. You have to be able to, love yourself, right? So for me, when I first started this business, when I first come online in 2009, what happened was my self-esteem was very low, right? I was not very confident with myself, right? One of the biggest aspect of online marketing is to be on videos. And I was just afraid of getting on in front of the camera because I was just bad at video. My self-esteem was so low that I just couldn't get myself in front of the camera and make more than a few videos. And so I didn't do that for many years, and that sort of stops me from that sort of stops me from sort of producing any results at all with videos, right? And ever since Empower, I started to get involved with the community, with the company, and put my foot out there and start to produce more with videos. Following the leadership within this team and this company, I started to make more videos, and just decided to just post them out there, and then see what happens, right? And then grow from each videos as I make them. And now it's like I feel a lot more comfortable in front of the videos. I feel a lot more happy about myself, and and now like I make videos, I like to share it with people. So it's very important for me, right? It's for the power of videos. It helps you build your your confidence, it builds your character, it gives you self-esteem. So that's the power of video for me, right? So I don't know about you guys here on the panel. What I want to do now is pass the mic on to Emily, and maybe you can share a little bit about what the power of videos means to you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Tam. And guys, I'm super excited about tonight's hangout because I mean we have Nat Green here, who I mean, he's been crushing it with this online business, and I know Tam told me a little bit about him, and I actually checked out his website and what he's been doing, and Nat is just I mean, he's been crushing it with video marketing. So make sure you do stay tuned and hear what he has to say, so that his tips will most likely probably help you with your online business as well. But what I have to say about video marketing, I guess I can kind of fall into where Tam was. My self-esteem was really low. When it came to video marketing, but I realized that the more that I put myself out there, the more exposure I get for my online business, and of course the power of video marketing kicks in, and that's how people, your prospects, people who are looking into your business, get to know you better. Whatever products you want to promote, of course, as well, and it's an exposure that'll have your prospect be more prone to join you or to buy from you, because they'll see through the cameras, through these videos, how authentic you are, how transparent you are, and whether you're a real person that they want to connect to. Now, I come from the restaurant business, the restaurant background industry. I still have a restaurant business up until now. It's running on its 5th year. It's in the sushi. I'm in the sushi business, guys. But definitely when I started looking into online marketing, because I wanted to expose my business more out there locally within Montreal, so I looked at online marketing. And of course there's many ways to expose your business online, but video is definitely something that you want your clients, your prospects to see, because I find it just a little bit more, it gives it more of that oomph, that edge, that it's more concrete for instead of people just reading through your blogs. I mean, I love blogs. I blog every day as well, but putting your video out there definitely gives it more of an exposure, and that's what I have to say. It definitely helped me through my marketing. Now, there are many ways that you can use video marketing for your business, but I'm gonna save some of that strategies for other hangouts, and I want to make sure that you guys catch on to Nat, who is going to share a lot of his strategies and how he's been able to boost his business by using video marketing. So this is what I have to say, and I'm excited, guys. I'm going to pass it back on to Tam so that he can host and finish it off, and that's what I have to share with video marketing.
Awesome.
Awesome, Emily. Thanks for that. Video is a very powerful way to market, right? And if you're online and you're building an online business, you have to have some sort of a video marketing strategy inside of your strategy, your marketing plan, right? And that's the reason why we have Nat Green here, because he's the master of videos, right? If you have been following Nat and watch any of his videos on YouTube where he gets lots of views, he does a lot of great SEOs on those videos. His tagline is "Keeping it real with Nat," right? Because he's so genuine, because he just comes from the heart. He does a lot of different strategies, right? But video, he is the master of. He's got 2 companies right now that's in operation. One of them is Revolution Marketing Strategies. The other one is Rev Mobile Marketing. So this guy knows what he's doing in terms of marketing online. Within Empower, he's made many $3,000 days. He might go into a little bit of how he achieved that on this hangout. I don't know. Maybe if you leave a comment on the page and request it, he might. So I don't know what Nat's going to share about videos, but I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. So Nat, go ahead, brother, and take it away.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, you guys, for having me on here tonight. Tam, always great to see you. And of course, this is the second hangout that we've done together. When I actually first met you previous to the Chicago event, and Emily, great to get to meet you as well. So I'm definitely honored to be here. And I mean, you know, the power of video, let's face it. I mean, we're here doing a, you know, live video hangout right here. So I mean, that just speaks to the testament of how powerful it is. And you guys both with your own stories just touched on a couple really key points. And actually a lot of, you know, it brings up some questions that I get from people often who are, they're just getting started online, or maybe they're doing other strategies, but so they're, you know, very intimidated by video. And, you know, one of the things that I've talked about actually in a lot of my videos recently is, you know, the self-limiting beliefs that we have, right? And, you know, so many of us, we buy into the monkey chatter, as Tony Rush says, that, you know, we tell ourselves in our head, you know, and, you know, those are some of the things that might be holding us back from doing video, right? And, you know, whether it's, I don't have the voice, you know, because we, you know, let's face it, when we hear our voice played back, it sounds weird to us or whatever, or, you know, I don't have the face for video, or I don't have this or whatever. And, you know, people make excuses and they don't do video for those reasons. And let's face it, that probably most of all those reasons you're telling yourselves are all BS anyway. So, you know, if you need to do daily affirmations, or, you know, just, you know, buy into the fact that you can do it, because, you know, you can. It's just that simple. You know, if I can do it, Tam can do it. If Emily can do it, then everyone watching this video, you guys can do it as well. So just get started with video first of all. I mean, one of the reasons I would say to do that, you know, why it's so powerful. I mean, there's really no better way other than actually meeting someone, you know, physically face to face or belly to belly or whatever you want to call it, you know, to really get to know someone, right? And, you know, through video now, I mean, I've had a lot of people, you know, when you go to some of the Empower events, or, you know, even sometimes just walking around, you know, Vancouver or whatever, I'll have people like, you know, hey, I recognize you, or, you know, are you Nat Green or whatever? And you know, by no means am, you know, I'm some big celebrity or whatever, but it's because they've seen my videos before, right? And they feel like they know me. And it's no different than, you know, if I go to an event and I, you know, talk to someone, or I see someone walking by, hey, that's so-and-so. And I may have never met that person before, but because I've seen, you know, 3, 5, or 10 of their videos, you know, you have a good sense for who that person is, right? And the thing is, I mean, you know, if you're an awesome actor or whatever, then, you know, you can get a good sense very quickly for what kind of person you are through, you know, how you communicate and stuff, right? And, you know, it's interesting that, you know, Emily and I could basically make a very similar video talking about the same topics. You know, maybe we both learned the same thing that day, and we both think, hey, that's a great, you know, topic to blog about and do a video about. But the thing is, you know, Emily and I are obviously both very different people. Sure, we're both from Canada, but she's from Montreal, I'm from Vancouver. And, you know, we're into different things. And so, you know, people are going to relate to Emily totally differently than they're going to relate to me, right? And, you know, there's just no better way to build rapport than through video marketing, I think. And so I challenge you to, you know, just get started and do it. And you know what, even maybe take it a step further and just set yourself a challenge to do a video a day for, say, 30 days, right? I know actually there's a bunch of 90-day video challenges going on right now. But if you just set, you know, something like that for yourself and just say, you know what, I'm going to do it for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is that you want to do for yourself. I mean, you're probably, let's face it, you might not be, you know, super awesome in your videos right off the bat, and that's okay. And I mean, a while back, I was looking through my YouTube channel at some of my very first videos from, you know, 3.5, 4 years ago, and they sucked. But whatever, right? I mean, I am now, I like to think anyway, I'm a little bit better than I was then, and I'm a lot more comfortable in front of the camera. And like anything, whether it's video marketing or blogging or whatever, I mean, you're not going to be awesome right out of the gates, and that's okay. But if you just keep consistent with it, that you're going to get better and better, and then, you know, you'll be rocking it no time. So I definitely encourage you to just get started with it. Just do it. You don't need to spend a lot of money on video equipment. In fact, a lot of the times now, that you know, without being, you know, super lousy quality, but just a regular video camera now, I mean, just using your iPhone, I mean, which takes, you know, good quality. It doesn't have to be super overproduced and super slick. I mean, you know, people want to connect with real people, right? And sometimes if it's too polished, if, you know, you spend hours, you know, editing and getting everything just right, then it's too over the top and people feel like they can't relate. Where if you just do, you know, 1 or 2 takes and just throw it up as it is, you know, then people, hey, that, you know, they're just like me, they're just a regular person, and you become more relatable that way. Another question I get a lot of times, and this is very similar to blogging, you know, what do I blog about? What do I make a video about, right? Well, I mean, you can literally do it about anything, whatever is your interest, right? And some of the things that I want to start doing even more so, like I'm really big into snowboarding. In fact, actually, I was up yesterday. I went up by the Coquihalla toll booth, and I have a split board. Basically, you ski up the mountain, snap your skis into a snowboard, and ride down. And I got the sunburn to prove it, if you can see on my arm. But it's those kind of lifestyle things that we like to do, and there's a really easy way to be able to relate whatever your passions are into the personal freedom that we all want to have with making money from home, right? You know, I mean, for example, with me and snowboarding and stuff, I mean, I can talk about the fact that, I mean, it was on a weekend, but because I work from home, I could do it on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, right? And let's face it, most people who work a 9 to 5, they couldn't do that, right? And maybe it was the conditions were better on Wednesday or whatever, but Wednesday is the right day to do it. Well, I can do that because I'm my own boss, right? And so you can either, you know, you can basically talk about, you know, show the conditions and how much fun you had with your friends that day, and then relate it, hey, look, I'm able to do this, you know, and I'm able to do this on not the weekends when it's busy and the lifts are super crowded or whatever. I can do this because I'm on my own boss. I don't have to answer to anyone, and I can basically do whatever the heck I want whenever I want. And so, you know, whether you're big into cooking or, you know, riding bikes or whatever it is, I mean, you can turn your hobbies into, you know, well, I can do this because of this, whether it's Empower or something different or whatever, right? Because, I mean, obviously, let's face it, everyone wants more freedom in their life. You know, yeah, we want, you know, money to buy cars and stuff, but, you know, the money really translates into freedom, which is much more important, and people will buy into that message if you can communicate that message across, right? So, but also, too, of course, you know, I mean, I'm a big believer, and I've really gotten into personal development a lot the last couple of years. And of course, with Empower Network, you know, we have the inner circle calls and, you know, all this incredible information at our disposal. And I mean, you can listen to one of the Monday night calls or the replays, and I mean, literally, there's like, you know, 5 blog posts and 5 videos, you know, in every 1 hour call, or, you know, or although sometimes they go for 2 hours, but you know, I mean, there's content all around us, right? And you know, even if let's say that you don't have Empower, I mean, you could literally go onto YouTube, you know, watch 2 or 3 videos on you know, motivational talks, you know, whatever. Just pick a topic, and then basically, you know, take what they've said, what you've just learned in those videos, and then put it back into your words, right? You know, obviously have your own little spin on it, and of course, you know, put your own personal message on there. But I mean, there's no shortage of where to get content from. So, you know, and what's cool with that, especially, you know, if you're, you know, taking in good information and good positive stuff that, you know, is motivational and uplifting and all these, you know, types of good things, that when you're, you know, giving that back to people, you know, that they're just going to think, wow, this person's really inspiring, you know, and, or, you know, this person's really, you know, they know some technical know-how if you're sharing technical tips or whatever, right? So, you know, by just, you know, taking the information and then sharing it with others, that's also going to help elevate your status into becoming an expert or, you know, a leader in the industry and stuff, right? And so, you know, just always be sharing all the time, and, you know, it's really going to just help lift you up and help with your branding and that type of thing. And actually, it was interesting. I was at a party last night with a bunch of my friends that I haven't seen for a while. It's one of their birthday parties, and there was a guy that I'd met once there before, and I mean, I met him a year and a half ago or whatever. But of course, you know, nowadays you become friends with people on Facebook or whatever, and so, you know, we've sort of been following each other, but we hadn't really chatted a whole lot on Facebook. But when we were talking last night, he was just like, you know what, man, I really want to give it up to you. That, you know, I've been watching your videos, and, you know, he's one of those guys, he says, I don't comment, I don't like and stuff, but just know that I'm watching them. And he's just like, I love your message on how positive and how real you are and all these types of things. And I was just like, wow, that's so cool, you know, that I've made some sort of impact on this guy or whatever. And even though he's not commenting, even though he's not liking, you know, now that I know that, you know, he's watching or whatever, right? And I think it's interesting, and you know, a lot of times, you know, if we're posting our videos on Facebook, for example, or some of the other social networks, a lot of times I've noticed where, you know, every once in a while I'll get a message from, you know, maybe somebody I've met years ago or I went to school with or whatever, and they're like, Nat, what is it you're doing? You know, I see you're talking about making money, and I've noticed a big change in you. You're talking about a lot of, you know, motivational, personal development type stuff. What the heck is it that you're doing, you know? And it's interesting because, you know, they'll reference something I talked about in a video like 3 weeks ago or whatever, right? And so it's like, I know that people are watching, right? And you know, especially like with this guy that I was talking about last night, it's like, you know what, if I know that there's, say, you know, a handful of people that are reaching out to message me and ask what's going on, then there's way more that are watching, but they're just, you know, they're too afraid, or they're skeptical, or, you know, or all these other things, which, you know, it's okay to be skeptical, especially, you know, because empower sounds too good to be true, right? But, you know, it's one of those things that isn't. But so just know that even though, you know, you might not get a lot of comments or likes right off the bat when you're first getting going, just know that there's people, they're watching you, right? And so, you know, it's always a good reason, of course, to always, you know, just always be positive and always, you know, put out a good positive message. And, you know, all it takes sometimes is one person to hear the right thing that you talk about, and that's enough for them to make that mental shift, whether it's to join you in your business or maybe to, I don't know, to quit their job or whatever, something on a positive level where you've made a huge difference in that person's life. So it's just really cool that, you know, one thing that you can say, one little nugget, can make a huge impact in somebody else's life. And you know, I mean, to be honest, that's way cooler than the $1,000 days or whatever. I mean, making money is cool. I love it. Obviously, that's what, you know, puts the food on the table and stuff. But really, if you can make a difference in someone else's life, that's way cooler, you know. And that's what I think is so powerful with Empower Network, you know. And I mean, let's face it, you know, to be honest, I got started with Empower because of the money, because of the 100% commissions, and that's what, you know, draws a lot of people in. But the thing is, what is so cool about it is being able to connect with people like Emily, like Tam, and so many other people that we've met at the events. And I mean, I have grown so much as a person at each event and had massive, massive breakthroughs at each event. And you know, it's powerful. I mean, it really is empowering, and you know, you're becoming a better person. And actually, I wanted to share something with you guys. This is one of the last videos I did a few days ago, and it was actually as a result of the last Empower Network event in Chicago, and it like literally has changed my life. And I know, Tam, I believe that you've gone to 2 events now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily, you've been to a couple events as well? Yeah. I know we haven't actually met, but
it was my second event.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I've gone to Chicago was my 3rd, and it was funny because with San Diego, I realized that, you know, wow, not only is it possible and can I do it, but I met a lot of other people and I saw firsthand that a lot of other people from all walks of life. And actually, to quickly tie it back into to video marketing, again, I was standing in the main foyer, and a guy, Doug, walks by and he says, "Hey, are you Nat Green? I've seen a bunch of your videos." And we started talking, and now we're like super good buddies or whatever. And what was interesting, he was telling me his story. He's a truck driver. He was working at the point 70 hours a week. He wrote his very first blog post. He was all in up at this point. This is before the Masters came out. And he had somebody join him and go all in. So he made $1,625 from his very first blog post. And I was just like, man, if a truck driver working 70 hours a week can make $1,625 from one blog post, and you know, no offense or anything to take anything away from Doug, because he's actually a very smart guy, but it's just like, wow, anyone can do this. And so for me, that was my first huge shift there, right? And then with Austin, I really realized that it's not about me. You know, it's not about any one of us on the panel. You know, it's bigger than that. It really is about helping humanity, because, you know, and I see this, and this is why I get so fired up about this kind of stuff. Is, I mean, I have so many great friends, but they're stuck. You know, a lot of them anyway. They're stuck in that job mentality, which, you know, a lot of people in society are, and that's fine, right? And people don't know that there is another alternative, right? And I just think that, and this kind of comes back to what I was saying before, it's like, if you can just inspire one person, hey, look, you can do this, you know, you can absolutely do this. And maybe, you know, don't quit your job, you know, like I didn't, just learn this internet marketing thing, you know, maybe, you know, keep your job for a bit and build it up on the side. You know, I'm a little bit more risky than some people are, but, you know, but you can do this, and there's a better way, you know. And so that was my big takeaway from the second event. But this last one, this was so huge, and it was cool because I put it out there in a video, and it's very personal. And I mean, I'm one of those guys that I'm okay with sharing my stuff. You know, sometimes it's hard, and I mean, I did a similar video where, I mean, I had people coming up to me after tell me that they were crying listening to my video and stuff, and it's just like, wow, that's some pretty cool stuff. And anyway, the story that I want to tell you is Sunday, the last day of the last event, I bumped into a guy, Raymond, who I met at other events, and I said, you know, did you have any big breakthroughs so far? And he says, you know, a couple little nuggets here and there. And I said, yeah, you know, me too. You know, obviously there's a lot of good stuff going around, but because I'd had these 2 huge breakthroughs at the previous events, I honestly thought that was it. You know what I mean? That, like, to have another huge breakthrough that impacted me on the level that it did, I mean, it was sort of a miracle, you know, that something like that would happen. And it's funny because the very last exercise that we did was David Wood, and of course, you know, you guys know this. I had touched on this a little bit before, where it's like, okay, you know, what it is that you want in life, you know, what's your goals? And of course, you know, people are shouting out, you make 10 grand a month, 30 grand a month, you know, whatever it is. Well, what's that going to do for you, right? Okay, well, you know, to prove that it's possible so I can help inspire other people. Okay, great. Well, what's that going to do? What's that going to do? What's that going to do? And of course, you just go deeper and deeper and deeper and stuff, right? And so, you know, I'm here and I'm thinking, you know, I've already done this before once, because we did the exact same exercise in Austin, and I found it to be very powerful. And David also done it once on one of the live Monday night calls. And so I'm sitting there in my seat, and I'm thinking, am I going to get anything out of this? Because I've already done it. I already kind of know, you know, what I think at least, you know, is the bottom level, you know, the really true why, what that is, right? I thought I knew that. And as I'm going through the steps, because I figured, you know, I'm here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to give it my all, I'm going to lay it all out. And as I'm sitting there, I had a thought go into my head. And I have never, ever thought this before. And as I did, I swear to God, and you know, this sounds all, you know, light and fluffy or whatever, but I had a wave of energy rush over my body. And I knew there was something there. And afterwards, because that was basically like the end of the event. And I had hooked up with my friend Chris, who, Tam, you know, Chris Novak from France, awesome guy. We had hooked up at the previous event, and we were sharing hotels and stuff. One of my, you know, new best friends, awesome guy. And another woman named Chris. And I went up to them, and, you know, I had this, like I said, this feeling came over me, so there was something there, I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't know what it was. And I said, hey, what did you guys think about that exercise? And they were like, oh, it was really cool, you know, and I got some stuff out of it. And I said, you know, I had this really weird thing happen to me, and so I told them what this thought was, and I'll share that with you guys right now. And I should back up really quickly here. When I was 11 years old, you know, I had what I thought was the perfect family life, whatever, and I lived in Kamloops, BC, and my mom moved to Vancouver to go to school for a couple years to be a massage therapist. And okay, cool, you know, I'm just going to be away, but she's kept coming back or whatever. And anyway, she ended up basically finding her independence, and she decided to not come back. And as an 11 or 12-year-old kid at the time, to not have a mom, I mean, I still have a mom or whatever, but, you know, she wasn't in our life as much. And my dad basically raised myself and my 2 older brothers. And, you know, we were hellraisers, right? And my oldest brother actually was schizophrenic. And, I mean, let's face it, whether you're a single mom or a single dad, it's hard to raise 3 kids or whatever. And my dad did the best he could. But what is interesting, when my mom left, my middle brother, Joel, who I totally idolized, he went from like a straight A student to skipping school and smoking pot and, you know, doing a lot of bad stuff or whatever. And at the age I was young and impressionable, and I just looked up to Joel. You know, he skated and snowboarded and stuff. And I just followed suit, you know, and I went from, you know, cute kid with dimples or whatever to, and you know, I'll be honest, I was a bad kid. I did a lot of bad stuff or whatever. And I think that, you know, because basically my home life was sort of taken away from me, or, you know, and like my dad had to, you know, basically buy out my mom of the mortgage and all this stuff or whatever. And, you know, I'm sure there's probably a little bit of selfishness there. And, you know, the perfect life that I thought that I had, you know, it wasn't there anymore, and life changed a lot or whatever. And anyway, long story short, I know that I've had a lot of anger towards my mom because of that, right? And my mom is a super sweet lady, and she's very supportive of me. In fact, actually, after the San Diego event, I told her about, you know, what I experienced and stuff, and I didn't have all the money to get all in, but I knew I had to do it. My mom lent me the $5,000 to go all in. You know what I mean? Like how cool is that or whatever, right? But still, when I talked to my mom on my phone, I would still like get angry with her, or very quick, you know, to lose my temper with her. And obviously it was because I had this, you know, this anger from her leaving. And we had talked about it, I don't know, once a couple years ago. But anyway, to get back to the story, I was chatting with Chris and Chris, and I was telling, you know, I had this feeling come over me, and, you know, a bit about my mom and stuff. And female Chris, she said one word to me, and I started bawling. I just lost it. You know, feel myself getting welling up right now talking about it. And it's funny because Chris and I had talked, you know, over the previous days, and we had shared a lot of personal stuff before. And she obviously has gone through, you know, not the same situation, but somewhat similar stuff or whatever. So she knew instantly, and she said unforgiven, or unforgiveness is what she said. And right then I realized I've never forgiven my mom for leaving us, for doing what we did. And so anyway, you know, I'm bawling. As soon as I kind of, you know, regained my composure, the first thing that came out of my mouth was, now I'm ready to go make $1 million. And that's what's, you know, that's been holding me back from really breaking through. Like, yeah, I mean, I've made, you know, 3 grand days, and, you know, and having success with Empower and stuff, but not at the level that I know I can do, where I can really crush it, you know. And it's funny because it's like, I don't know, you know, I mean, I'm a confident person, and, you know, I'm pretty good at most things I do or whatever, but yet way, way deep down in my subconscious from 25 years ago, I realized, you know, that I'm not good enough in the eyes of my mom to have true success. And so anyway, I shared that in a video. I mean, it was like a 19-minute video, and I mean, it's pretty personal stuff or whatever. But the comments that I've had, and my mom has shared the story with you know, people in her circle as well. And I mean, yeah, just some of the comments that I've had from people are incredible. And it's funny, like, I mean, I'm getting tons of like Google Plus requests now, and, you know, I mean, people are friending me and stuff all over just because of this one video, just because I laid it out. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know how many people, you know, that's not your average video. You know, when you go to YouTube, you don't see something that personal that often or whatever, right? And so I guess, you know, the whole lesson, or the point of the story, what I'm trying to share with you guys, is don't be afraid to let it all out, you know, and just be yourself. And sometimes that just by, you know, all the bullshit that we have in our heads, and just being able to get that out in the open and share that with people, that not only is it so healing, and I mean, let's face it, how many other people have been through a similar situation where, you know, their parents are divorced, you know, whether it's their mom leaving them, their dad leaving them, which is maybe more common in society, but, you know, like, people can relate to that stuff, right? And now, so people who have watched that, they're like, wow, this guy's keeping it real or whatever, you know what I mean? And so that is what is so powerful with video. If you can get to the point where you're sharing that super, you know, personal level stuff, that, I mean, people are going to really, like, people are going to know who you are, or at least have a really, you know, damn good idea, right? And, you know, that, you know, being able to form those kind of relationships, whether it's virtual or not, but, you know, I mean, we've heard this 1,000 times online, that, you know, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Well, if you're laying out that kind of stuff in videos, people are going to like and trust you after that. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're balling on camera or whatever, then, mean, what do you have to hide, really, right? So it's powerful stuff, man. So just get out there and start shooting some videos, you know. So anyway, I could probably go on and on, but I mean, that was really the big thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that, you know, that obviously getting to the events and having your own personal, you know, breakthroughs and stuff is huge, but you know, just being able to share that kind of stuff is really powerful as well. And actually, there's one thing I do want to mention before I sort of shut up here is I was able to, I think the day after I called my mom and she came over and you know, we had that conversation and it was incredible, you know, and I got to actually forgive her, you know, and I understand now why she had to do what she did. And it's funny, she had said a few things and I kind of, you know, I brought up, you know, maybe a few more questions. And so I called up my dad. My dad lives in Kamloops, and so we had a Skype conversation. And I love my dad. We have a great relationship, but we don't talk all the time, and it's not super personal and stuff. We had like an hour-long conversation that was like the most personal conversation we've ever had, you know, just because I asked him questions. And, you know, he told me, he was just like, I would have never in a million years thought about having this conversation with you, you know, because my dad was one of those guys, he just didn't talk a lot about his personal feelings and stuff, right? And so what is so cool is that out of that experience at an Empower Network event, that I thought that I had it all figured out because I've gone through that same exercise twice, I now have, you know, an even more like stronger relationship with not just my mom, but also my dad. So it's like, I mean, you can't put a price on that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if, you know, nobody ever joins me and you know, I pay my, you know, $125 every month or whatever, and I lose money every month. I don't care because I love Empower Network and I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just learn this stuff, you know, on a regular day at your job or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it really is empowering, you know, and it's not just a clever name. It's some badass shit, you know. So anyway.
You're awesome, man.
Awesome.
You're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, I bet when everybody signed on, then they thought, okay, we're gonna talk about videos. Nobody thought that they were gonna hear that sort of stuff, right? So.
No. See, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people who have just heard that story, right? A lot of people that Nat brought here on this page, I just gotta go sign up immediately, because that's what the power of video does, right? They're gonna click on that button below. They're gonna go to the next page, fill out the information, and they're gonna sign immediately because now they have just learned and connected with Nat, right, on a deeper level. They know who he is as a real guy. You know, he just opened his heart. I mean, I was in tears almost hearing that story, and you know, that's powerful to be able to have a medium where you can share that with other people, right, and you're keeping it real, and that's what happens. And Nat's is definitely right. He's talking about, you know, when a lot of people come on, a lot of people, you know, myself included, you know, resist making videos for the longest period of time, right? But when I finally started doing them, I started to find that my results started to change, right? Everything about my marketing, about, you know, the way I view myself has changed as well. I'm a lot happier because of the fact that I'm able to do it. I'm able to break through with one of that challenge that I have with videos. I'm able to break through that, and now I'm so happy, you know, at myself just being able to do that. There were so many nuggets that was being dropped while Nat was speaking. So a lot of people who are watching this, you know, I urge you to sort of rewind, go back, and watch it again. You know, one of the things that I want to touch on is this: if you feel like, you know, that, oh no, I can never make videos, like I'm not the video type person, right? I can almost say that, look, 90% of people in this world are like that, because the biggest fear in the world is public speaking in front of people. Well, so getting on videos is, you know, technically the same thing, right? And so one of the best wisdom I got from a friend was, you know, if you just keep making videos, you make about 50, you make about 100, what happens is, you know, at the end of those videos, you're going to have a problem hiding who you really are. So, you know how people say, be real on video, be yourself in video, right? and you really try and be professional and stiff and all that, but after your 100 videos, you're gonna have a problem, hiding your real self, because everything about you is gonna come out, right? People are gonna see the way you smile, the way you laugh, and they're gonna hear you snore, whatever, right? Like when you laugh, I don't know, but all of that's gonna come out. But that's really who you are, and you don't need to try and be who you are on videos. Just keep making videos. Just keep making videos, and just keep spilling out your heart. And what happened is, people will connect to that, and that's the best form of marketing. That's the best form of rapport, like Nat was saying. So, if you're watching this right now, and I've brought you here, and you want to start, this business with us, you want to start overcoming your fears and challenges with videos. We have a 90-day video challenge right now within Team Tech Massive Action that is happening right now. There are like over thousands of people, making videos every day, submitting these videos, and lots of these people have never made a video ever in their life, right? So you can join the team, and you can start, to be a part of this challenge and start, overcoming your challenge right now. You can start your journey. You start making your story today with us just by clicking the link below and join one of us right here on the panel. With that being said, I want to ask do you have any thoughts, any question after listening to Nat? I'm sure you have a lot on your mind you want to share.
Oh, man. Nat, I have so much going on in my mind right now, but you know what? I can't cover through all of them. I was actually taking notes. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But I love how Nat is, able to share his vulnerability and that's really true transparency and authenticity, right? And that's what people are looking for nowadays. I think I'm not sure who said this, but the era of network marketers being in suits and doing presentations and like it's dying out now, right? So a lot of the things are going on videos, and it's all about being yourself and who you are, so that these people can connect with you. We're like in an era where it's all about connecting with people now. It's not about selling your product or your business to them. It's about serving others. And if you're able to switch that mentality from selling or how can I make money to how can I help this person, then you're able to show that through your videos. And of course, you really have to dig deep down. It's not something that you can do if it's, it has to really come out naturally from inside your heart, like just how Nat was showing. And you really dig deep down and search what your true purpose in life is. And if it's really to help others and to serve other people, then you'll be able to move forward and really, kill it with the online business, right? And once again, it's like Nat said, it's not about just making money. Of course, as entrepreneurs, when we start off our entrepreneurial journey, it's we're driven by the money side, by the dollar, right? And which is what I wanted to ask Nat too. I know you mentioned that you're into you started off as an entrepreneur ever since you were young, and you opened a skateboard, snowboarding shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I wanted to ask, how, like, from that, do you still have the shop or no?
No, retail, let's face it, and this is just one more reason why online business is that much cooler. But in the 5.5 years, and I was 20 years old when I got started, so I don't profess to be some awesome business expert at that point. But it was funny. I started from there was actually a guy that I knew. I think because I used to compete snowboarding and stuff as well. I'd won some prize through his store. He actually had a rentals like sporting rental store. And so when I started, I actually rented like part of the front of his store, and then we outgrew that really quickly, and then we moved across town to a bigger store where I actually rented a smaller section to him, and then we moved back downtown, and this all within like 5.5 years. And we grew, and I put on like music festivals. To this day, I still have people talk about the parties I threw. But you know, I had concerts and you know all this stuff or whatever, and yeah, it was really cool. But retail is, I mean, it's damn expensive, man. You know, I mean, we all know how real estate is and stuff, right? You know, plus all the clothing or, you know, all the snowboards and stuff. It's super expensive, right? And so, I mean, I can't remember how much money I spent over the years to expand the store and stuff. I mean, you know, it was a lot of money or whatever, right? Whereas, you know, you can start with Empower Network and get all in for just over $5,000. You know, and have the potential, you know, income disclaimer here, you know, to make, you know, tens of, you know, some people are making over $100,000 a month now, you know, so it's like, why would you even think, you know, about having a retail store, you know? Yeah, so anyway, I ended up actually, I went bankrupt with it, and you know, I mean, I learned a lot from it. I'm very, you know, grateful for it, and you know, I made a bit of a name for myself in Kamloops where I had the store and stuff, and I actually moved to Vancouver after that. And I sold motorcycles for 8 years. And so it was cool because, I mean, going from snowboarding to skateboarding into street bikes and dirt bikes, and I did grow up riding dirt bikes in Kamloops as well. But I've been lucky enough to be involved with stuff that I really love and I'm passionate about, you know. And it's funny because, you know, people, you know, in between when I was with the motorcycle stuff, I was working for somebody else. But people would ask me because they knew that I was this business guy, you know. So they're, well, now when are you going to get back into business? What are you going to do? And I had no clue. I knew at some point I wanted to do it again, but I didn't know what, right? And it's funny because, you know, we all think that everyone makes millions of dollars online or whatever, right? So I'm going to do something with this internet thing, but I didn't know what. And for years, like it would pop into my head every once in a while, but I didn't quite know what it was because I wasn't a web designer. You know, I didn't have any webs. I mean, I searched, you know, I cruised, you know, whatever internet sites and checked my email, and that was about it. But when I decided to do something, and I basically just kind of found internet marketing, a guy that I knew, and actually it's funny, it was like every 6 years or something, with like clockwork, he would pitch me on some network marketing business. And in fact, I remember he invited me to, I think it was an Amway business, and I used to have hair down to my belt. And I show up at this meeting, and this ties back into what you're saying with, you know, the suits and stuff. I'm just not a suit guy, but I went to some home meeting, everyone's wearing their suits, and I got my long hair, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? You know, I'm not doing this or whatever. But anyway, yeah, he had pitched me on some other new business, and I was like, you know what, I'm open-minded, I'll look at it. And I did some research, and very quickly I knew that business he was doing wasn't for me. But I ended up finding another network marketing system, and I was just like, hey, this marketing thing's cool, right? And it's funny because, when, you know, getting online, I wanted to have the internet lifestyle, right? You know, I want to be able to travel the world and do whatever I want whenever I want. And then as I was basically learning more about internet network marketing, I also found local business marketing. And it's funny because I was like, you know, this seems more legit, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, it felt like I could be more proud to go to my friends and say, you know, I'm working with local businesses versus I'm working with something that, you know, people think is some pyramid scheme or whatever, right? And so I actually left network marketing altogether and started building up a stable of clients, you know, working with actually a few local restaurants, Emily, as well as spas and moving companies and stuff like that. Well, what's interesting, and this happened right around the time of going to my first Empower event in San Diego, was I started getting frustrated because I was going to coffee meetings, you know, and writing proposals, and I was just like, you know what, I feel like this is just another job. I mean, yeah, I'm in business for myself, but I wasn't really able to live that real, you know, internet lifestyle that I really, you know, had set out to or whatever. And so I actually, like I said, I had left network marketing to do, you know, another business. And now I've actually, like, I still have, you know, a small stable of clients because I'm very picky with who I work with now. And I'm actually, like, I don't prospect, I don't do anything with my local business marketing at all because I see just how powerful Empower is. And I mean, you know, I see it, and you know, maybe you think I'm crazy for it, but you know, I see this as being an opportunity to make way more money in way less of time with essentially way less work because there's already an automated system set up. And you know, I mean, let's face it, you know, you need to do some stuff yourself. It's not the magic button that you just press and money comes falling out of the sky. But so yeah, I mean, I'm putting all my eggs into Empower Network. And I've always been an entrepreneur, I guess. It's always been in my blood. And for some people watching this, you know, maybe they've never done anything like that. You know, they've never had a store before. They've never been in business for themselves before. And that's cool. You know, everyone's got to have their first business. But, you know, I just challenge you to, you know, just try it out, you know, because, you know, not only for the tax write-offs and all that sort of stuff, but to, I mean, everybody wants more freedom, right? Everybody wants more time to spend with their kids, with their family, with their friends, you know, to travel the world more, whatever it is, you know, and if you just, you know, apply, you know, what you've learned in the teachings with Empower Network and just, you know, buckle down for 90 days, you know, man, maybe it even takes 6 months. I mean, who cares? The skills that you can learn with internet marketing and especially with the Empower Network, if you just buckle down and learn that and take massive action and apply that, I mean, marketing is it's a multi-million-dollar skill, and that's what I love about it so much. I mean, if you get good at marketing and, you know, it doesn't matter if it's videos or social media or SEO or whatever, if you get good at marketing, game over. That's it, you know? I mean, you can literally write your own paychecks and you know, then you never have to be accountable to anyone else, you know, other than your spouse, maybe, ever again, you know? And that's what I think is so cool. And I want to get people just to wake up, you know, that if they've never looked at business before, that's cool, but take a look at this because this is the real deal. And it's funny, I mean, I've said this before and it sounds funny, but I mean, I've had people say, and you guys have probably heard this too, that Empower Network sounds too good to be true because, you know, it does. It does. But the thing is, it's not. For whatever reason, this is different than everything else. And you owe it to yourself to try it out, you know. And, you know, you can go online and Empower Network reviews. I mean, I built an Empower Network review site, and you can read all the information. Some of it's going to be good. Some of it's going to be bad because, let's face it, there's haters out there too. But you can get started for 25 bucks and check it out for yourself on the inside, right? And tap into the team training that you guys provide with, you know, Team Take Massive Action, right? And, hey, if you don't like it, if you don't like what you see, shit, you just wasted 25 bucks. Oh, well, right? So just get started for 25 bucks. You know, I mean, you know, yeah, there's more of an investment, you know, if you want to play big, which you should, you know, you should get all in. You should play big in life, you know. You're not going to hit your goals of $5 grand a month or 10 grand a month or whatever number it is for you at a $25 level. I mean, you might, but you're going to have to really bust your ass, you know. But if you want to start making $3,000 days like, you know, all of us on the panel are doing, you need to have a product that pays you $3,000 commissions. You know, and it's funny too. I mean, I see this all the time, and I actually made a video about it just to show, you know, people want to see social proof, right? Where basically now, I mean, and I'm sure you guys are probably the same. I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook who are also in Empower now, right? Because, you know, obviously I've met them at events and whatever. But just, hey, you're in Empower, cool, let's be friends. Every single day, I look at my news feed, and there's people, either they themselves or they're reposting from one of their teammates. So-and-so just got their first sign-up. So-and-so just made their first $1,000 sale. I just got $3 grand. I mean, I'm seeing people, I did 2 master sales and made $6 grand, you know, and you know, you may not make $6 grand in one day. But the thing is, I mean, my news feed is seriously people just making tons of cash with Empower Network, you know, and so it's like, it's not just one person or a small group of people having success. Tons and tons of people are doing it. And unfortunately, there's tons and tons of people that aren't either, and this is just real talk here. But for the most part, I would say that 98% of those people that aren't having success, at least yet, and I'm sorry to say this if this is you watching this, but this, again, this is just real talk, it's because you're not doing everything on a larger level that you need to do. You're not taking massive action, you know. I mean, like I was telling you earlier with Doug, the truck driver, who, you know, made $1,625 off his first blog post. I also got somebody that signed up on my first blog post. You know, I mean, they didn't go all in. I mean, you know, I ended up probably making 500 bucks or whatever it was off them. And, you know, that doesn't happen all the time. People don't, you know, but I see so many people, I've been in for 2 weeks and I haven't made any money. This sucks, I'm out. Well, to learn a multi-million-dollar skill, it might take a little bit long. I mean, some people get it right away, some people don't. But the thing is, if you just keep consistent, if you just every single day do something, whatever it is, just do that thing every day. Do that, you know, if it's the 90-day video challenge, then do that every day. And it might be 89 days before you get a sign up. But when you do get that sign up, it's going to feel so good. And then, you know, the next 90 days, you know, you're going to get 3 or 10 or whatever the numbers are, right? So just do it. If you just decide to, you know, A, get started right now, and B, don't ever quit on yourself and your dreams, it's going to come. It might take longer than you expected. It will come. It will, you know. Empower's not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from the 3 events I've seen and the 2 that you guys have seen, I'm sure you'll agree with me, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And I mean, and actually that was one of the big things that I saw in Austin. I mean, the massive vision that Dave and Dave have for the company, it made me realize that, man, my vision is small. I got to step things up and go big, you know. And again, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate with this, that, you know, when we were kids, we used to dream big. We wanted the mansion on the hill, or we wanted to be a doctor. We wanted all this big stuff. But as we get older and society just keeps shitting on us, and, you know, we just, oh, those big dreams I had, you know, that's not realistic, or that's not attainable. And so our dreams just get smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's sad. But now with Empower Network, to be able to put our vision inside of what Dave and Dave have laid out for us, we can start to dream big again, you know. And especially seeing more and more people around us, you know, that their dreams are just getting shattered and getting, you know, they're being forced to, you know, make their dreams even bigger. That's inspiring to us that we can, you know, achieve that too, you know. So
I love it when you said that, you know, you can either have a business, and this you know, Empower can definitely help you boost your business out there, or even if you don't have one, Empower, you know, can be your first business, but it's all about sharing what you're passionate about. You know, you can either be, you know, a snowboarder, or you know, you enjoy cooking, or any type of hobbies that you enjoy. Then, you know, it's all about being yourself and putting it out on videos where people can see you and show, you know, being yourself and showing your true authenticity. And that's how people can relate to you and feel like they can connect with you, and then just join through the power of these videos. And you know, it's that, like, I mean, it's just made for anybody out there who is willing to take massive action, whether you do have a business or not. I mean, Empower shows everything where you can, you know, we can help you rank on search engines and all those technical things that you need to learn to really promote your business out there. Everything is in the back office. Everything is shown for you. But if you don't have the heart and the desire to really empower and help other people out there, then I mean, it's not gonna. You're not gonna elevate yourself as far as you should be, just like Nat was talking about, right? I mean, sure, you can be driven by the dollar, but once again, you know, it's once you really tap into your purpose and you get through that subconscious mind of yours, that self-limiting belief, that you'll really get to, you know, empower yourself. And once you do, that's how you can empower other people and build a whole dynasty, right? So that's what I have to say. I'm gonna pass it back on to Tam here.
Yeah, wow, you guys both shared like amazing like just tips and insights. I'll tell you why Empower is the business for those who are looking for to start a business, right? Why it is for me, why it's the business, right? First of all, there's a business that's already started. You don't have to worry about customer support. You don't have to worry about hosting. You don't have any overheads, right? All you gotta do is plug in, buy all the products, right? And then you can start earning 100% commissions on these products, right? So like Nat said, from $25 to $5,000, right? You can earn with per sale, right? If they go all in. But the thing is this: if you were to go out there and if you were to create your own products, right? You have to worry about the quality of your products, right? We Empower have just the quality of the Empower Network products, right? The blogging system, the authority blogs that you get. I mean, I was amazed when I created my posts, right? And a couple of weeks later, without any, you know, off-page SEO, I was able to rank first on Google, right?
Nice.
But that page is actually pushed back right now because I haven't done any backlinking. I haven't dripped any links to it. But that's the power of Empower. And if you were to go to Google and search for pretty much like any keywords, right? Like, I mean, Empower Network pages are everywhere, right?
They're everywhere.
I mean, it's a very powerful product that you can have for 25 bucks, and you can pretty much promote any business you want. You don't have to promote Empower. You don't have to be an affiliate if you don't want to, but you'd be silly not to, because you can earn so much money with this company. You know, personally for me, I've never made I've never made money with any other company more than like 25 bucks here and there, right? But with Empower, you know, I was able to make my first, you know, $4,600 day. So I wouldn't have been able to do that without Empower. And as we're touching on this hangout, you know, the power of videos are the strategy that you want to employ. You know, I should have touched on this earlier, but you know, but I didn't, so I'll do it now. YouTube is probably the main reason why you want to do videos, right? Because you look at all the websites in the world, right? You've got Google as being the #1 visited websites in the world. Everybody goes to Google for answers, right? And rank #2 is YouTube, right? And a lot of people might not know, but a lot of people go to YouTube for answers as well. I personally do. Like when I had one of my iPhones, you know, broken, like I had water inside of it, and I was trying to figure out how to open it. I went to you know, YouTube and asked, how do you open my, you know, iPhone? And you know, so it's powerful. Video is powerful. You definitely want to employ video in your business. And definitely you want to have, you know, you want to have something behind that you can promote. And we definitely recommend Empower, not because, you know, not because we want to make money here, but it's definitely something that you can make money. You know, Nat was talking about before, so many people are making money, not just anyone, right, but people who are newbies and new to the internet, people who have never made money online ever before. They're actually making their first $1,000 day, first $500 day, and they're posting it on Facebook, you know, in our chats all over the place, and it's amazing to see that. So, you know, we're quite, you know, we really want you to also have the same kind of benefits. If you're online, you're wandering around, and you're promoting, you know, companies that are paying you like little commissions. I mean, stop that and start checking out Empower and see what it's really about. See why it is that people are so empowered and so motivated to go out there and share Empower, right? I mean, the reason I'm doing it as well is because I know the benefit. I see the benefit for myself, right? So that's why I'm sharing these benefits with you guys.
Cool. Actually, Tammy, you just, if I can interrupt you for a second, just you said something that I think, and I know some people are always looking for the technical how-to and stuff. So I figured, you know, other than listen to a bit of my story and stuff, and hopefully get some inspiration. That's because you'd asked earlier, you know, how was it that I started making money with Empower? And basically, exactly what you just said was with people saying, I just made my first $500 day, or, you know, my first sale, whatever it is. And what I started doing, and actually, you guys might be able to hear my dog cry in the background because she wants me to take her out. But I think my first few sales, I got like I just made up my first $125. So while I was out walking my dog, I would post that on Facebook, and it would ask like, "Oh, cool, you know, how is it you're making that $125, right?" You know, or I just learned, you know, I just got my first 5 leads, my first 10 leads or whatever. Post that, you know, shoot a video on it, and show people exactly how you did that. And even if you haven't got your first $25 sale, your first $500 sale, leverage other people on your team, other leaders, and you know, leverage their results, right? So, you know, even just by connecting with people on Facebook who are having success, leverage their results to say, hey, look, you know, this person, Emily, this girl that's using the exact same system that I am, she just made $3,000, you know, if you want to find out, you know, ask me how or whatever, right? So leveraging, you know, other people's success to get your first results, and then leveraging your smaller results for bigger results, and it just keeps snowballing, you know. So that's something super easy, very non-technical that anyone can do. But then the other thing as well too, just because we're talking about videos, I do video search engine optimization, It is similar to optimizing for Google in a lot of ways, but it also is a little different. So I just wanted to give some quick nuggets here for those people that want to help get their videos ranked on page 1 of YouTube and Google. Obviously, you want to make sure that you have your keywords in your title, and of course, the keyword is just a search phrase, right? So let's say that you're doing a company review for a network marketing company. So what people are searching for in that instance would be company name review, right? So insert company name there. So put that first thing in your title, put your tags as that and different variations of that. So company name review, company name reviews. People do also look for company name scam, but I prefer not to optimize for those because those are negative looking people looking for a reason to say no to it. You want to always make sure to put the link of your capture page or a link back to your blog post if you're talking about something specific. Actually the second thing, I would have your keyword in your description and then a link back, right? And the reason for that, of course, is that if you were to have a long description in your video, and you should actually pepper your keyword in there a few other times as well. But a lot of times you'll have to click on the See More tab, it'll say, right? But what the thing is, when you put your link in there, and of course to make sure to have http:// to make it clickable, that link is always visible, right? Even though the rest of your content might be buried under the See More. Because let's face it, you want to get people to have leads, right? Or you want to get leads from your videos. Always make sure, of course, to have a good call to action in everything you do. So, click the button down below. But then also, as far as some off-page optimization, and this is stuff that some people don't know, the more, this is common, I guess, but the more likes and subscribers that you have, that helps. So obviously, ask people for likes and to subscribe to your channel. But the more times that you have a video embedded on another website, so your blog, for example, that also helps. That's a ranking factor. So if you have a few different websites or a few different blogs, or just maybe encourage people to share your video and embed it on their website, that also helps as well. Also, after you've actually posted your video to YouTube, take the URL and then post that back in your description as well too. That'll actually help give you a backlink for your video inside of your video as well too. All the other, the typical off-page optimization as far as different types of anchor tech links, all that sort of stuff, which may be getting a little bit more technical, but all that stuff applies too. But just by doing some of those things will definitely help you get ranked in YouTube and Google, which of course is going to give you more traffic, get more leads, make more money, and live a life of pure freedom. So there you go.
Awesome.
By the way, if you guys want to hear more about Nat and his stories and strategies, leave it in the comment section below. And if there is enough, then we'll try to bring him back. But we know he's a busy entrepreneur, and we're actually lucky to have him here, right? But on to you, Tam.
Yeah, if like what Nat was just sharing towards the end there, I mean that's really powerful if you guys got that. But we might get Nat back on another hangout so that he can actually share us and show us on screen, because a lot of people can't really visual strategies when you're going through it. So if we have enough requests, we'll definitely bring Nat the Video King back, right, to share his strategies on videos. So look, guys, we've gone fair over an hour. I don't know if you guys have any final thoughts, Emily, before we wrap up.
I totally enjoyed your company, Nat, and thank you so much for sharing your story and for keeping it real, right? Once again, it's all about being yourself on video, guys. If you want to start into video marketing for your business or for yourself, if you're into Empower already, it's just about being yourself, sharing what you're passionate about, sharing your love for the world or for whatever whatever you're into, and showing the community what you're all about. I know I'm repeating the same thing here, but it's something that you really have to ingrain in your head, that you don't have to pretend to be someone else, or you don't have to pretend that you're successful or that you're making money. It's all about sharing your passion. So I mean that was really what Nat shared here, and going to events to make sure that you do unlock that purpose, that true purpose inside of yourself. Just I mean, it's just you go from breakthroughs to breakthroughs every single event. It's funny because he mentioned too that you think you know it, but you don't. You think you know it all, but you don't.
You don't
Right?
know.
There's always something more, and that's what I love about being entrepreneurs, because it's all about self-development and becoming a better version of yourself every single time. So it just shows through videos. I mean, from when you start off to where you are now. I mean, if I scroll down Nat's YouTube, I'm pretty sure you can tell the difference, right? But I love it. It's awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, thank you so much to both of you guys for having me out. Definitely feel honored to be able to share my story, and hopefully, everybody watching got some value from it. But just the message to everyone that's watching this right now, as on to what Emily was just saying, go out there and just, if it's baby steps or not, but just, always consistently try to be improving yourself, to be growing as a person, have breakthroughs, and, and share those breakthroughs with other people. And you know what? I know a lot of people have self-esteem issues sometimes, but just know that, all of us on the panel here, we believe in you in whatever it is you do, whether it's to join Empower or not. I mean, to be honest, I don't care if you do or not, but you owe it to yourself to check it out. But just go out there and believe in yourself, and when you can live up to, not necessarily the expectations, but I know that there's people around you, there's friends, family members that, they see things in you that you probably don't see, and, just believe it. They know what they're talking about, and just believe in yourself, and raise yourself up to the level, that they see you, at. Hopefully that makes sense. And just, you deserve to be the best you that you can possibly be, and you also deserve to be the best you for others around you, for your friends and your family members. So, we believe in you. You need to believe in you if you don't already, and just go out there, just make it happen, because you absolutely deserve it.
Absolutely. Now, you see, I just got to say this, right? What Empower stands for is we're looking to change the world, right? It's something really big. A lot of you guys are watching this, and you're like, well, that's something really big for you to say, Tam. Absolutely it is, right? But it's not something big for a $250,000 per month earner to say, and that's David Wood. He's the founder of this company. He's got a huge vision for all of us to fit in, right? I believe in his vision. I believe in Empower, and I'm sharing, and I am the little guy, right, that David Wood's trying to reach and say, hey, look, you can be big like me as well. And I said, all right, I'll follow you. And by me doing this, by me stepping out of my, weakness, right, stepping into my power, by making that decision, what I'm actually doing is giving permission for people around me to do the same, right? So I have a lot of friends on Facebook. I don't know if you're here watching this right now, and if you are, I'm talking to you, because I'm stepping out of my zone here, stepping into my power, so that I can be bigger, so that I'm giving you permission to step out of your weakness, step into your power, right? So that you can allow other people, you can give permission to people around you to step into their power as well. And that's what Empower Network is about, right? We want you all to step outside of your comfort zone, step into your power, and change your life. And I made a decision that I'm going to do it, and here I am on this hangout sharing, mindset tips, strategies with friends from all over the world. And I'm happy, and I can't be at a better place than anywhere right now. And that being said,
Tam, can I just say something really quick?
Sure, Emily.
Guys, while Nat was telling his story, if you guys got goosebumps or you were almost in tears, that's the power of videos. Okay, that's if you haven't caught it, that's the power of videos, right? And Nat was saying, if you're a newbie and you you don't want to get into video because you have self-esteem issues, plug yourself into a community like us who do believe in you until you start believing in yourself. See, what's really important here is that you have to remember that you're not going to be doing this by yourself. You're going to be doing it with a large community who believes in you until you build up that self-esteem again. So that's what I wanted to say.
Awesome.
Absolutely awesome. So I'm going to wrap it up. Nat, do you have anything to add?
I think that's it. Put a bow in it.
Right. Okay, cool. Excellent. So with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in, for being with us on this hangout, and we're going to have another one tomorrow, and hopefully for the rest of the week. We're going to keep bringing in leaders, guys that are making money and power, and we want to really just provide value and share, and just give you like pointers and tips, and hopefully you can make money as well in your business. So I hope to see you on another hangout. That being said, bye-bye.
Click the link below.
And click the link.